What's going on, my fellow rock and rollers? Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon to be notified every time I put out a new video on my channel. This has been a story that's been requested by a lot of people. Back in 2004, a relatively unknown punk band named Northside Kings opened for Glenn Danzig at Tuba City in Arizona. By the end of the night, Danzig would be punched out cold, and Northside Kings wouldn't have a chance to play for the local kids. So what happened? Stay tuned to find out. When Northside Kings showed up to a venue in Tuba City to play their gig that night, things went awry right from the start. The original plan that night was for 2 stages to be set up with continuous music. When the members of Northside Kings started walking around the venue, they noticed only 1 stage was present. After talking to the promoter, they learned that Danzig kiboshed the idea of there being 2 stages, and the band was also informed that Danzig would take to the stage at 10 p.m., 2 hours earlier than his original stage time. The reason being that Danzig wanted to leave by midnight back home for Los Angeles. Complicating matters was that there was a total of 11 bands on the bill that day, so without 2 stages, there was no way for all the bands to play their sets in just 5 hours. Northside Kings would soon start to feel like they wouldn't be able to play their show that night because of Danzig's actions. They soon learned that Danzig would make an announcement during his set that some of the bands would play after he left the stage, so the Kings seemed pretty happy with that arrangement, but following his performance, Danzig's crew started tearing the stage down. The members of the Kings were pissed, feeling like they had been ripped off. It was only a matter of time before things came to a head, and of course they did. The Kings had a friend with them that night named Dan Stone who had been filming them for a few years. The band's label, Thorpe Records, arranged for a DVD to be made capturing the band's live performances and backstage antics. That's why the whole altercation I'm talking about today was captured on film. The Kings frontman Danny Marianino was furious and wanted to confront Danzig and found out why they couldn't play. According to one of Marianino's bandmates, Tom Reardon, Danny had no intention of punching Danzig. What transpired was unbelievable. Danzig told Marianino, "F you, mother effer," and pushed him. The singer retaliated with a punch to Danzig's face, knocking him out cold. If you guys want to see the altercation, I've linked to it down below. Reardon recalled that moment saying, "The next thing I knew, I could see Glenn mother Danzig on his hands and knees, looking 10 shades paler than usual, with a little trickle of blood coming out of his mouth. He looked dazed as a pandemonium ensued in the hallway that served as the backstage area." He would go on to say, "I have to point out here that when I first laid eyes on him," referring to Danzig that evening, "I cannot believe how short he is, like a stout, pale elf. Shaking off the shock of the moment, I realized I needed to make sure Danny was okay." Now, lucky for the Kings, the security at the venue sided with Danny, believing he acted in self-defense. And what's funny about this whole incident is that the band didn't even realize they had footage of the entire altercation until hours later. Marianino was briefly interviewed by the police following the incident and declined to press charges against Danzig. The band would end up splitting from the venue about an hour after the incident went down. Here's an interview with Marianino talking about what happened immediately following the incident prior to the video showing up online.
You can talk all day about the video and people can say whatever they want, but he did push you first. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I don't lay my hands on anybody until I need to protect myself. You know?
So then afterwards, the video's posted. You get years of the most incredible hate mail I've ever read in this book, Don't Ever Punch a Rock Star. Yeah. It's just unbelievable.
Well, the video wouldn't have even came out in the first place
if
he didn't put up a statement that morning early. It was already out on the internet that I stabbed him.
You stabbed him.
And the original video that came out, it says, "Notice there's no sharp object in Danny's hand," because trying to clarify, I didn't stab anyone.
Right.
Following the incident, the news broke and the video surfaced on numerous websites. What happened next will either surprise you or it won't. The Kings were inundated with death threats and hate mail, and some of the band's accusers claimed they filmed the whole thing on purpose to promote their band. Now what's funny is that the incident did little to help the Northside Kings, as they played together for only a few more years before calling it quits. According to Reardon, they never made any more money or got much respect from the press as a result of the scuffle. And it would be ironic that the band's last gig was opening for the Misfits minus Danzig in Scottsdale, Arizona. According to Reardon, the Misfits bassist Jerry Only was cool to them and even laughed about Danzig being punched. Bearden would look back 10 years later at the incident, writing in the Phoenix Sun-Times, "You know, maybe the best thing in all this for me was getting to see all the crap he said in interviews about the punch and know that he was lying his ass off. It's truly pathetic. All he would have to do is say something like, you know, things happen and tempers flared and I got punched. That would have ended all the BS that came from those 10 seconds of infamy. Instead, the sheep who follow turds like him sent Danny primarily and the rest of us volley after volley of hate." In the past 10 years, I've had the opportunity to talk to lots of music folks who know Danzig, and not one of them ever said to me they wish Danny had not punched him. In a rare interview Glenn Danzig granted to LA Weekly in 2012, he was asked about the incident, and he would say the following: "That was him trying to get me on camera punching him so he could sue me or some stuff. I forget what it was. When everyone was breaking it up, he cold-cocked me. What are you going to do?" Those were his guys with a camera. No one knows that. Well, back then they did. It was a setup, Danzig would claim. When asked if the punch hurt, Danzig reportedly laughed and simply told the reporter no. And Marianino would have the last laugh, as in 2012 he would release a book called Don't Ever Punch a Rock Star, which featured a collection of hate mail he received following the incident, and it's up on Amazon for you guys to go purchase. So that does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe. If you guys have suggestions for future topics, let me know in the comment section below. Take care.